Welcome back to First Move. Before the break, we were discussing the need for greater funding for climate adaptation and mitigation. It was my quote of "show me the money." Well, our next guest is focused on doing just that. Catalyst Fund is a startup accelerator that's funding innovative companies across Africa, Latin America and Asia. It's looking to raise $40 million from investors to fund a climate-focused startups across Africa. And it's already put money into 10 firms from Egypt and Kenya to Senegal and Nigeria. The portfolio includes Sand to Green, which is working to transform desert into cultivable land in Morocco, and Farm to Feed, using digital tech to reduce food waste in Kenya. And joining us now is Maelis Carraro. She's the managing partner of Catalyst Fund, which is part of BFA Global Group. Maelis, fantastic to have you on the show. Just start by explaining Catalyst Fund and how you look for good investments.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Catalyst Fund is a pre-seed venture fund and accelerator that backs early-stage tech startups building a climate-resilient future in Africa. So we look for companies really making an impact on climate adaptation benefits on the continent across a range of sectors, because we truly believe that every sector of the economy will have to adapt to climate change impacts. So for example, we're looking for companies in the insurance space, in the agriculture space, but also in access to water or clean energy or waste management, essential solutions that will help build the resilience of climate vulnerable communities.
Okay, so give me an example, because I mentioned Farm to Feed. What was it about this startup that made you think, you know what, they're doing the right things, they're a good investment, we're going to get a return on our money? Because clearly this is part of the decisions that you have to make at this stage, even as an early stage seed or venture capitalist fund. Talk me through that.
Absolutely. Farm to Feed is a Kenyan company who's trying to dramatically reduce food waste and food loss by connecting producers, so farmers, to off-takers, in this case, for example, restaurants or even airlines, and help them to sell the odd-looking produce. So basically not your grade A produce, but the grade B and C that would otherwise not be sold. And what this does is contributing to increasing the income of the farmers, but also to dramatically reduce food waste, which, as you know, has an impact also on CO2 reduction. So for us, we saw this as a digital model that had both a big impact on farmers' income, but that could also be scaled, not just in Kenya, but across the continent, and that's what's going to drive our returns.
Yeah, and how much money on average do you give startups like this? I'm sure it differs depending on where they're operating or what they're doing, but just on average, how much money are we talking about?
Actually, we are a pre-seed stage fund, so we are usually the first backers, the first check in the company. So we invest $200,000 at pre-seed, very beginning of the startup journeys. And within that, $100,000 is cash and $100,000 is venture building support, which means that our team in the fund has the expertise across all the functions that an early stage startup needs. And we can come in and help with marketing, with growth, with fundraising, with sales, with product, data, technology issues, which really helps companies get to the next level of scale and reach and be able to attract further financing. And after that first check, we're also able to provide follow-on funding. Usually it's around $500,000 at seed stage and over $1 million at Series A. So we really try to stay with our founders all the way to that initial growth. And at that point, other investors hopefully step in.
Yeah. Oh, and what does it cost the company themselves? Because the comparison that I'm making here, and again, I have this conversation a lot, that just getting access to finance in certain parts of this world is just prohibitively expensive. And it's part of the challenge for outside and international investors coming in and working out sort of what they're willing to invest and the risks that they're taking. How does it compare? And again, how do you weigh up those risks, price those risks?
It's a great question. Our model at pre-seed is standardized. So we take 5% of the companies, which is lower on average than other early stage VC funds or accelerators, because we did want to create a model that put the founders first, that was founders friendly. And I will say, though, that it is still very difficult for early stage startups to access both equity and debt in particular, debt typically comes at a higher cost. And this is something that we try to change and disrupt with our fund, trying to place $200,000 across 40 companies over the next 5 years.
Yeah, it's great. How do you, and how do we scale this? You're just one fund and it's brilliant, but it's a drop in the ocean in terms of the work that needs to be done to not only support these businesses, but also tackle some of the huge challenges that the continent has. Are you working with governments? And just from what you've already seen, how could you better, perhaps, or those governments work with you to help grow this?
Absolutely. We, as a private sector fund, don't work directly with individual governments, but we certainly take part in the conversation. So, for example, we were just now at the Africa Climate Summit here in Kenya. I'm in Nairobi right now, and really made a strong call for more capital from both the public sector and the private sector to come in to support climate innovators on the continent that can really drive green growth and adaptation solutions for climate impacts. And I think the government in particular has a key role to enable private sector funding to come in, de-risk that funding, potentially with structures that blend different kinds of capital, and then really scale what is working in critical sectors here, for example, agriculture, but also clean energy, which is going to be a very important resource to enable low carbon growth in the future.
Yeah, what Maelis picked up there with the idea perhaps of some form of risk sharing so that you can come in, but there's also some offset there, and hopefully that allows them sort of greater leverage of the money that's available. How close to the $40 million are you?
We have just announced our first close at slightly above 20% of the fund raised, but we're really hoping that with this announcement, we're going to generate momentum and partner with other investors that really share a vision of a world where every individual has the tools they need to thrive against the risk of climate change.
Yeah, that's why I asked a question. That's when you ask a question you know the answer to, because if there are any investors watching, you're the lady to call. Maelis, great to chat to you. Thank you so much, and we'll certainly keep in touch.
Thank you.
Maelis Carraro there, Managing Partner of Catalyst Fund.